my day started at 6 o'clock. Today's Friday, thanks God. I work 11, 12 hours every day. That's why there's been few videos recently. And I totally forgot to do a video in another installment in my 0 to 60 last Sunday. And I thought I would do it Monday. Then Monday came by and now it's Friday. I'm behind, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's been crazy. So I drive all day at my equipment rental place. And then I come home, take a shower, change, grab something to eat, and I go out in my Jeep Compass to try and make a couple of bucks. So now finally I have both Uber and Lyft working. Everything is cool, and again, Uber is definitely more useful. Like yesterday, I started at 6, like with a taxi, and the lady, like half a kilometer away from my home, called Uber to go downtown to a river, to a beach. Like, I never been there. It's pretty much where the Stampede was, and it was like 25 kilometers, and I think they paid me like 27 bucks. Like, when I look at earnings, it was kind of interesting. It says charge $34, service fee $8. I still have to, like, is that what they, like, and it says 25%. So is that what they make? Just 25%? I never saw a breakdown like that. But anyway, so I took that lady over there, and then I drove slightly up to downtown and caught a lady on Lyft who was going from her home to a grocery store, like 1 kilometer, $5. And 10 minutes later, the same grocery store, I did not move, just parked my car. This was Uber again. I picked up 2 Chinese ladies, and it turns out they were students, and I took them to University of Calgary, to the dormitory, and this was like $7 for 6 kilometers. So basically, you cannot get rich, you know, but it's been a very helpful side gig, you know. So hopefully, but again, yesterday I think I made like $40 in 2 hours. So today I'm gonna, Friday, I hope I don't get stuck at work too long, because yesterday I think I finished at 5. And yesterday they were expecting a busy day. So I came back at 4, which is supposed to be the end of my shift, but the bosses said we wanted to preload for tomorrow a couple of machines. And they give me the paperwork. I see one is stand behind, basically a small crawler loader, and then another one is a very big scissor lift, and then a small scissor lift. And I said, how do I feed them? And they said, well, you just put that loader, tracked loader, you know, it's the one that doesn't have a cab, it's just where you stand behind, but a very cool machine. You put it first behind the cab, and then you put the scissor lifts in the back, but push them against each other and use just one chain on each end. And it was not easy because one is much bigger than the other. But I loaded them. I'm gonna show you in a second. So here I'm just going to Starbucks to get some decaf Americano upside down. Oh, and another news, like the road leading from and 2, the place has been under construction because they're building a massive warehouse or something. So they keep messing with the road, you know. Like one day I try to make a turn, all the roads are closed off because the excavator sits in the middle of the road, and they dig a huge hole and they're doing something there, right? Then 1 week later, they covered it up, everything is good, and you know, I was super happy. And then what they started demolishing the other side, and they made a hole in the other side. And so now getting in is easy, but getting out, especially at the end of the day before tomorrow, took me 30 minutes just to go 800 meters from the minor intersection to the big intersection to the main road, because they only left one lane, like idiots. You know, there were 2 lanes. No, there were 3 lanes. One was turning to the right, 2 were going straight, and 1 was turning to the left. Yeah, there were 4 lanes at the intersection, and now we have 1 lane. And of course it's a mess. And I see the excavator still sitting there. Nothing is done. And yeah, I got the new Viofo dash cam, which like pretty much top of the line. So and it has 3 channels, so it records the driver and then forward and rear. So it has 3 cameras. And I had something similar before in my Dodge Charger, but I left it there. So this is I was just thinking about something like that, because you know, in case there's some unruly passengers or something like that. And so Viofo reached out and asked me, because I did it for them before. They reached out, they said, can you do another review, because we have a big sale coming on. And so I'm gonna do a review probably maybe tomorrow, so you guys look out for that, because it's a great little dash cam. Because I have one here, but this is just 1 channel, but the picture is very clear. You know, I've been very happy with it. I was just using it, you know, mostly for protection when I'm driving. Recently, when I'm driving for Uber and Lyft. And so yeah, so now the plan is to get coffee, go to work, and since it's already preloaded, easy peasy, just deliver the 3 machines. And we'll go from there. And and yesterday I finally managed to wash my Jeep. Went to a car wash, so now it looks pretty clean. So I'm cleaning it every day before the shift, like the seats. I have this special spray, so I clean the leather, the seats, the doors, the seats in the front sometimes have marks, and then the floor where people get out, they always leave marks on the, you know, when they open the door, under the door, that part, you know, because nobody can lift their feet high enough, it seems, you know. They all scratch. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, so this is my cash mobile, all clean and nice. See, Uber and Lyft. Yeah, and what I have to clean most of the time is this part. This part, always messy. People, you know, cannot get out without hitting it. And then they always move these for some reason. You see like how they sit, I only had 3 passengers, they always move them. So I clean up these, and then I use a spray, clean up the seats, the headrests, and yeah, and the doors here. And sometimes they leave mess over there. But yeah, it's super nice, you know, for a passenger. It's all leather, it's very comfortable. I make sure I move the seat forward to make room over here, because sometimes I actually have 3 people, then I tell them, hey, you can move the seat back. Now here's what I'm talking about, because they're working on this field, and I don't know if you can see the excavator there. mirror, so they dug a hole in that road in the back, and so now we have one lane, whereas before, yeah, I made a mistake. I thought there was like 4 lanes. No, before we had 2 lanes, and then one was going to the right, one was, and 2 were going straight and left. I think there's 3 lanes in there, so it's like 4. So now we have 1, and it takes forever to get out, just to get to the main intersection. And the other day, as I was sitting here for half an hour, I was thinking, you see, like this, that road is open, right? Well, there's a couple of barriers at the end there, but if you go over this grass, you know, you're free as a bird. And I already see a couple of tire marks here. So, somebody had the same idea, but basically, yeah, these guys should not have done that. They should have created a temporary bypass, you know, like going back here. Like, you already dug a, I don't know, 5-meter deep hole. Why couldn't you just remove a couple of stones here and just make a transition to that side, right? But these guys don't care, you know? So they're building some kind of a big warehouse over there. So they worked for a couple of weeks here, you know, flattening the road. There was a bunch of scrapers, a bunch of dump trucks. Now we have these guys over here. Some massive project, but they started in that corner, and the building's foundation was done like super quickly. Like, these guys are fast, but they're fast over there, not here. Here they're just killing us civilians, you know, trying to do our job. Now, in other news, some guy reached out saying he's interested in my services and that he's buys and sells equipment at auctions, and he wanted my help to bring something from Canada to US. We exchanged 18 emails before finally we got to the gist of the matter, and I gave the guy a rough quote. I found him a carrier, so he had kind of like what I'm carrying right now. He had a scissor lift. He bought a scissor lift at an auction in Ontario, and he needed a truck to take it to Michigan. So I gave him a reference for the, you know, border crossing paperwork, and did the invoice, sent him the invoice. Oh, the last thing he was saying the customs broker needs the name of the trucking company. So I gave him the name of the trucking company, and the next day I sent him the invoice, which includes, you know, the payment to the trucking company plus my service fee, and that's it. The guy disappears, you know, like almost 20 emails with me giving him advice how to bring equipment from Canada to US. And when it came to money, everything stopped. And then another guy, okay, hold on, I think we're finally moving. That light was stuck on red, but I don't think I'm gonna make it. Like something, oh yeah, it's already amber.
At the light, turn left onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
Something is wrong with this intersection. Like, we're sitting on the red for 10 minutes, and guys just lose patience and they come out and they push the pedestrian, you know, button to cross, because it's just this side, nothing happens. Oh yeah, so there was 3 lanes here, like what they blocked off. So there was 1 lane turning west, and then 2 lanes going south, and 1 lane turning left. And so the guy before me just turned right because, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna work, but. So the cruise is set at 95 clicks an hour, and my first trip takes me all around Calgary on the bypass. And I definitely keep thinking about my future. One thing I noticed is that now I become irritated with my main job because it takes me away from the taxi work. Like, believe it or not, I really enjoy carrying passengers and, you know, having chats and meeting people. I think it's, you know, it's my thing. I'm kind of like tired of freight transport. I really embraced passenger transport, asking them about the temperature in the cab, try to figure out what music they like, on my satellite radio. It's cool. It's psychology, getting tips when you do something extra for them, like carrying bags or, giving them some information about Calgary and Alberta when they ask. But I'm still thinking, like, my original plan when I started this job was get another truck at the end of the year. But I don't know. Now I talked to my friend who I work with, the guy who's a freight broker. And he said an interesting thing is that in Alberta, if you run like, what they call a hot shot truck, basically a pickup truck, kind of like what we have at work here, like these diesel pickup trucks, but you have a fifth wheel connection in the bed, and you have a trailer. All right, so these guys over here, because there's a lot of construction sites and lots of oil fields, these guys stay busy. And what's cool is that they always charge the return trip, So let's say they have some parts, they pick up a couple of skids of parts, something like urgent, and you have to take it to, I don't know, Fort McMurray, They charge you the return trip, so you drive there, and then the customer pays for the return. And the registration is very simple. It's much simpler than with a semi-truck and a trailer. So if you go into US, you need, of course, the MC DOT number. But over here, if you just stay in Alberta, you don't need much. It's like very easy to start. And of course, people would maybe laugh if I do this, people would laugh at, like, basically how I was carrying, 50-ton and 60-ton machines. And let's say now I'm doing hot shot business where, I carry 10, 15,000 pounds. But I was thinking about, ever since I joined, this outfit, I've been in love with these pickup trucks. Man, I'm telling you, they're such cool machines with these diesel engines. It just, whenever you push the throttle, it just puts a smile on your face. There's so much power, like, what Hellcat? This is what you want if you are into performance and power. Like, if I push the throttle hard enough, I believe, no, maybe it's too heavy, but I think the wheels might spin. There's so much torque, and that's exactly the kind of truck you would want. Probably like a diesel, which here they like this Ram 3500. They go for about 85,000 Canadian, brand new. And then you get a trailer, like that hot shot trailer, some straps, some chains, some binders, right? So I don't know. The future is unclear, but I definitely need to improve my income, because this job is not providing enough, and that's why I have to do 2 hours every day at least with a taxi, and then I do Saturday and Sunday all day. But because I'm driving, like the best times here in Calgary for taxi are early morning and lunchtime. Basically, let's say 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. You know, according to all the charts I've seen on Uber and the Lyft, like evenings are not that busy unless it's Saturday. Then Saturday usually it's busy all day. But because of this, because I'm doing equipment delivery, I'm missing the best times for taxi work, you know, and I'm flirting with an idea, as they say, of maybe quitting and just focusing on crazy bike. I just went probably like 200 kilometers an hour, passing people on the shoulder. Man. But I mean, it would be cool if I could just quit this and do taxi. Then imagine I could get up like at 5 o'clock, do my exercises, and clean up the car and be in the car like, you know, 5 minutes to 6, and then do Ubering, let's say till lunch, take a lunch break, then do another part till, let's say, 3, take a break. And what would be cool about that is that this would be super flexible, and I could continue to do you know, my freight broker business, right? Because right now each of our vehicles, they have trackers, as I discovered. So basically the dispatch knows where you are at every moment. They know what speed you're driving. So they have a speed sensor and a location tracker. And so I cannot just, you know, stop somewhere there and like do a quick quote to a customer, like, you know, I'm at work, right? That would be unethical, and plus, you know, like I said, they're tracking your time. So I can only drive, load, unload, take a 30-minute lunch break. So this pretty much puts a lid on my freight brokering until I get off work. But then, because freight brokering is so, you know, the projects are few and far between, and then people just waste my time with these 20 emails and then they disappear. So I don't make any money, so I have to do Uber, right? So I come home, take a shower, and jump into my cash machine and do the taxi business. You know, so something gotta change. So I'm driving and I'm thinking about what I can change. But yeah, at the end of the year, definitely some big changes are coming. So I don't know. Either I get a semi-truck and get back into trucking, or I get a hotshot truck and get into hotshot business. And by the way, one cool thing about staying in one province is that you don't have to deal with stupid IFTA, the fuel tax. You know, if you're in one province, you don't have to do any reports. There's no fuel tax, and it's way cheaper on insurance. Especially, you know, Canadian insurance companies really don't like it when you go to US. As soon as you tell them that, yeah, you want to operate in US and Canada, the premiums go up by about, I would say, 30%. So if you stay in Canada only, it's cheaper, and if you stay in one province only, it's way cheaper.
In 3 kilometers, take exit 95
And
for 114,000
end of this
southeast.
year, it'll be 3 years since I had that incident in Kentucky, and so my record will be clean as far as insurance companies are concerned. And so yeah, so one plan would be to get a semi-truck, another hotshot truck, or another crazy idea would be to get deeper into taxi. Because, you know, right now I'm just doing Uber X, which is the cheapest Uber, but you can get like a minivan or a SUV with 6 seats, and then you can make more money if your vehicle qualifies as Uber XL. And then another way is they have I think they have it in Canada here. It's a luxury version. You know, where you have like a premium, I don't know, sedan, you know, buy something fancy like Mercedes, Audi, you know, black car with black leather seats, that would be like premium. So premium rates and premium rates for the driver. Another happy customer. Well, I'm all ready. I took the chains off, so it looks like I'm delivering into that unit in the middle of the frame. So the trick will be to fit it through the door. And I called the guy because he wanted a 30-minute notice. And I said, hey, I'm actually 15 minutes away. And he said, no, you have to wait for me. And so I took my chains off. I'm all ready. I found the unit. I'm pretty sure that's what he wants it, but look at this. It's a brand new, like we're at the end of Calgary somewhere, but look at this. Like, I love Calgary because of this. There's so much nature and wildlife here. There's some cool looking ducks, like that one over there. I cannot increase, but that one has a nice white neck. And imagine, for these guys over here, this is paradise, right? Like, who are their enemies? And these look quite young. they have no enemies over here. All you do is you are swimming around and look for food. So no rent, no food bills, no electricity bills, no cable TV. Life is simple for these guys. So yeah, that's where I am. I think city center is somewhere that way. I think that's north. Yeah, so mountains should be somewhere there. That should be west. But yeah, they opened some kind of a huge express lube and tie, and then car wash over there. And here there's only the middle unit is occupied, modern beauty spa and salon, and the two on the edges are not taken yet. The sign says for lease. And then there's some condo buildings, kind of like similar to where I live. Yeah, nice. Well, it's 11 o'clock, so I did 3 deliveries, and stop number 4 was pickup. I picked up a 0-turn mini scissor lift. Those are so treacherous, you know. They keep going like this because their wheels in the front are very, very small, and they turn 360 degrees, and it's just a joystick. And especially on a tilted surface, man, it's dangerous. I hate those things. And so I brought everything back, unloaded, asked the dispatch if I have anything to deliver. They said, no, you have 2 pickups. And now I'm heading out again through this jam. I'm picking up a mini excavator somewhere in northwest, and then stop number 2 is picking up a wheeled skid steer. So 2 of my favorite loads, an excavator and a skid steer. And another good news is that I just passed that hole where the excavator, you know, made a hole while the road is closed here on the way out. And they're already putting asphalt in there. So I think by the end of today we're gonna have all lanes open, and this nightmare should cease to exist. And also the good news is that now it's 11, so by the time I do my second pickup, it'll be time for lunch, and I can take a 30-minute break somewhere on the road. You know, whenever I see like some fast food place, you know, just mark the time, 30 minutes, and sometimes I write it on the bill. Took lunch break, you know, let's say 12 o'clock to 12:30, you know. As long as you don't go over, they're okay with people taking lunch on the road somewhere, you know.